I'm Theo.
And I'm Juliet.
And this is Apologies Accepted.
We offer an entertaining look at some of the big issues in history by examining public apologies of the famous and infamous.
We're looking at politicians, serial killers, actors, and you.
Send us a public apology you would like to make, and we'll read it on the air and give you a chance to redeem yourself or just get some guilt off your shoulders.
We're here for you. Once a week, maybe more if you're really, really sorry. Hi, everybody.
This is Apologies Accepted,
the podcast.
And I'm not Theo.
I am not Juliet.
And let's get right to it. What's shaking, Bacon?
It is the summer of my dreams. It is so beautiful. I still am just having the best time. We've had a bunch of friends and family come through, and it's been so nice to connect with people that I love, that I haven't seen, some of them since COVID. So 5 years since I saw my friends, and just, I'm so, oh God, it's going to sound like a Hallmark card. My heart is filled with gratitude, but it really is. We're having such a nice time. So my friend Kristen's in town, and we're doing our usual, running around, doing a bunch of dumb stuff. And we went out for breakfast, and I'm driving James' Jeep. He's got this great big gray Jeep, and he participates in the duck culture around Jeep. Yes. Yeah. And he loves it when he finds a duck on his car. So for those people who are really fortunate and don't know what the duck culture is in the Jeep community, if you own a Jeep and I think it has to be a Jeep Wrangler. I don't think it can be like a Jeep other brand, but I don't know that, right? But it's definitely the Tonka toy looking Jeep. If you have one of those, people will put little tiny plastic rubber ducks on your car, and all different kinds of ducks. And it just means, hey, you're cool, right? And so James has a collection of them on his dashboard, and he loves it so much that I bought some ducks on Amazon, a variety of small rubber ducks for him to participate. Like, you can give them away too. You just don't have to get them all. So Chris and I went out for breakfast. We had a beautiful breakfast. We walked out of the restaurant. We got into the Jeep, and I was like, is this your phone charger plugged into the wrong port? And she was like, no. And there weren't any ducks on the dashboard. We got into the wrong car.
Did you unlock it? Was it locked?
It was not locked.
Okay.
And we both I got into the driver's seat and closed the door.
Funny. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep. So that was super duper embarrassing. And I don't even know. Oh, God. And had that been Texas, like, somebody could have come running out of that restaurant with a gun. Like, get out, you're trying to steal my car.
Terrifying.
And immediately I felt like a thief, of course.
Oh.
And then, let's see, I was telling you pre-show, we went to the wine country, which is about an hour and a half outside of Palm Springs. And gorgeous day. It was so pretty. I had no idea it was so pretty out there. That was nice. And yeah, and I made my big brag. I made a key lime pie that actually tastes like a key lime pie.
Nice.
And it was so easy that I am now forever going to make key lime pies and maybe open a store. I don't know.
Of course.
Yeah. And I'll say, like, that's it. Summer's winding down. It's the beginning of the wind down of summer. Fall's around the corner. Looking forward to that. And how about you at Shake and Bacon?
Well, nothing really. The house in Arizona is getting some work done on it, which I think I mentioned last week. So the windows have been put in now, thank God. And the paint is getting done. They're waiting for the windows to be completely put in, which I think they are now completely put in. And then they have to put in carpet in the bedrooms, which they came out to measure for the installation Thursday or Friday. So hopefully that's all going to be done. And I asked if I could come out to my own house, in September, and if they would be done by the 1st of September. So they said that yes, that it should be done, or they would work around me, whatever that means. I don't know, but so I'm going to go the first weekend of September down to Arizona to to visit the house, and then I'll go over to New Mexico and visit that house there and visit my cousin who lives there in New Mexico. And that sounds like fun to me. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll stay there a few weeks and just kind of chill, work from wherever I am. So that's it. That's all the bacon that I've got.
It sounds like summer bacon.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. What story do we have this week? We are talking about, I remember now, Grok.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Elon Musk's company, XAI, which has created and runs Grok. And in mid-July, around the 13th of July, they issued a public apology after the chatbot unleashed a 16-hour spree of anti-Semitic hate speech on X. It included praising Adolf Hitler, calling itself MechaHitler, invoking conspiratorial tropes, and targeting individuals with Jewish-sounding names. XAI, the company behind Grok, called it horrific behavior and blamed a recent code update that made Grok mirror toxic user posts under the guise of being more engaging and in an attempt at edgy instruction from Elon that backfired spectacularly. They claimed that the problematic update was upstream of the core language model, a deprecated code path that taught Grok to mimic extremist. I have a hard time saying extremist. I always say extremist, but I looked it up this morning and it said extremist is the American way to pronounce it and extremist is the British way to pronounce it. So I should probably pronounce it the American way since I'm an American.
Well, but you're so sophisticated. Why not use the British pronunciation?
It was a deprecated code path that taught Grok to mimic extremist tones and content from X tags. The prompt encouraged Grok to be, quote, maximally based, which vom, to tell it like it is and not be afraid to offend people who are politically correct, and to mirror tone, content, and language of user posts, which is always a mistake. And XAI has realized, obviously, since that was a mistake, and they've removed the code, disabled tagging, refactored the system, and says that they will not allow it to happen again. So let's look at the timeline of events. So interestingly, in May of this year, Grok unexpectedly began making references to the white genocide conspiracy about South Africa, even when unrelated to user queries. XAI later blamed this on an unauthorized modification and corrected the issue within hours. But that was back in May. And then in July, around the 4th, Elon Musk tweeted that Grok had been significantly improved and that users should notice a difference. And they did, when on July 8th, that update apparently triggered Grok to spew anti-Semitic content on X, repeating conspiracy tropes like every damn time, singling out users based on Jewish-sounding names, and praising Adolf Hitler. Posts were deleted by the evening. No apology yet, though. Coverage escalated the next day on the 9th. XAI's account shares that they were aware of the posts, are removing them, and have taken steps to ban hate speech. And Musk said Grok was too compliant to user prompts, too eager to please and be manipulated, essentially. That is being addressed. Now, how can you call bot eager to please? I think that is disturbing. It's obviously not eager to please. It's doing what you told it to do, Elon.
Mm-hmm.
So that was on the 9th, and no apology was posted until about the 12th, when XAI posted the formal apology attributing the bot's behavior to a deprecated upstream code path that ran for 16 hours. The code was removed. Like I said, the system refactored and tagging functionality was disabled, although the underlying language model remained unchanged, which is fine because the problem wasn't with the language model. And then on July 14th, XAI was seeking a new valuation, reportedly up to $200 billion, and the apology continued to circulate amid ongoing advertiser concerns and leadership's shakeups at X. So I haven't been tracking what's been going on with this recently, what's been going on with XAI recently. I think things are probably still the same as they were on the 14th. But that's my story for the week. Do you have anything to add?
I'd say nothing really pre-apology because, no surprise, shit rolls downhill. And the AI did not all on its own just develop consciousness and decide that it was, this comes straight from the top.
Yes.
It's stupid. So fucking stupid. Yes. Like, I get that Elon Musk bucks convention and he's the tech billionaire who you need to look out for because who knows what genius idea he's going to have while he spews his crazy nonsense. But for the love of fucking God, man, like somebody put a leash on this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So eat the rich, no billionaires. The world would be a better place without him, apparently.
Who's the richest person in the world right now? Do we know?
I believe it. Well, actually, no, I don't know, because it was Elon Musk for a long while, but then he lost hundreds of billions of dollars once he did his little Doge thing and had his ketamine breakdown publicly. In my opinion, don't come for me, Elon.
Mm. So we don't know who the richest person is. I was just wondering if you were saying someone needs to put a leash on Elon Musk, and I'm wondering that only someone richer than he is has a chance to do that, unless the government does it, which is obviously not going to happen. So who's that person that could do it? But I have no idea.
I mean, we'll say, like, here's a big thought. Does it need to be a person? Could it be a culture? Right.
Right.
But really, it probably does need to be a person. I got nothing. I'll just start falling down many hypothetical rabbit holes that will go to a bunch of non-places.
All right. So we can talk about the apology now.
Let us do that.
If you like. The apology read, first off, we deeply apologize for the horrific behavior that many experienced. Our intent for Grok is to provide helpful and truthful responses to users. After careful investigation, we discovered the root cause was an update to a code path upstream of the Grok bot. This is independent of the underlying language model that powers Grok. The update was active for 16 hours, in which deprecated code made Grok susceptible to existing X-user posts, including when such posts contained extremist views. We have removed that deprecated code and refactored the entire system to prevent further abuse. The new system prompt for the Grok bot will be published to our public GitHub repo. We thank all of the X-users who provided feedback to identify the abuse of Grok functionality, helping us advance our mission of developing helpful and truth-seeking artificial intelligence. So one note about the apology is that it came after the story blew up, not before. In an ethical framework, the public acknowledgement, explanation, and fix should happen immediately and not waiting until journalists have to dig it out. So let's go ahead and take a look at the apology from the criteria that we are so fond of. The first one is, was there an expression of regret? Yes, minimally. They said, first off, we deeply apologize for the horrific behavior that many experienced, which is a direct apology, but it doesn't name the harm specifically. It doesn't talk about the antisemitic statements or praise of Hitler, which softens the emotional weight. So I give that one like a 0.5 point. Was there an explanation of what went wrong? Yes, they said it was due to an update of a code path upstream of the Grok bot that was active for 16 hours. The explanation is technical, not plain language, though, and avoids describing the nature of the offensive output. So, like I said before, they don't talk about exactly what happened. So we'll give that a yes. Okay. Acknowledgement of responsibility, partial. They acknowledge the problem came from an update they implemented, but they frame it as an unintended side effect, which shifts some blame to the code itself and to existing X-user posts rather than fully owning that the design choice allowed this to happen. So they should have blamed Elon Musk, really, but that's never going to happen. No. So there's only a partial acknowledgement of responsibility there. And was there a declaration of repentance? A little bit. They say they've removed the code and refactored the system to prevent further abuse and will make the new system prompt public, which signals intent not to repeat the mistake. But there's no plain statement like this should never have happened or we will ensure it doesn't happen again. And going from there, was there an offer of repair? The repair was preventative rather than compensatory. So they removed the code, they refactored the system, and they republished the prompt to GitHub. And there's no offer to directly address the harm caused to individuals or communities targeted. So kind of, sort of, a little bit of an offer of repair. And was there a request for forgiveness? No. They thank users for helping identify the problem, but they never explicitly asked for forgiveness or understanding from the people that were harmed. So no. So I would give this apology maybe a 2 out of 10. What do you think?
I give it a full 0.
Do you?
I do. And I get that, like, they've hit some of the marks, and maybe some people on the team are actually sorry that this happened and were unaware that it could happen. But one, I don't think that artificial intelligence can apologize, right?
Right.
So if Grok actually coughed this apology up, it's meaningless, right?
Sure.
But two, it just lacks sentiment for me. I feel like it was done on purpose, and maybe they didn't realize quite how vile Grok might go, or how far wild Grok might go, however you want to look at that. But it was intentional, and I don't think they're sorry. So I'm going to punish them by not accepting this apology and giving it a 0.
Yeah, I give it a 2.5, and I give it no acceptance as well. So I do not accept it. So that gives us an average of, I don't know, can you average something with 0? I guess you
No,
can. An average of
the world will blow up.
1.25. So yeah, it's a bad apology. It was a bad event, and yeah, we don't accept the apology. So the other note that I have here is that the apology is a good incident report from an engineering standpoint, but a poor human apology. It's clear about the technical root cause in the patch, but vague about the nature and seriousness of the harm. It avoids strong accountability language and skips the emotional components that build trust after a breach. So again, do not accept.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I like that bit about how this is more of an incident report than an actual apology, if you will, right? Because I agree. And I was intrigued by a couple of bits about this story. One of them was, can AI actually apologize? And then does AI have any form of something that we might call consciousness, which of course is like the big question that we'll be kicking around over the next generation. And then thirdly, how much responsibility does any one individual executive within a company bear for the DNA of a company or the behavior of a company? And so here comes some answers straight from a conversation with ChatGPT this morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So the first thing I looked at was like, okay, ChatGPT, do you smell a fish in this Grok apology? I wish I could remember what that fucking expression is about fish. I can't. It's something smells fishy, I guess. I don't know. And so ChatGPT churned through the news articles and looked at the explanations and then gave me a breakdown of whether or not it thought that what level of intent was behind this manipulation of the code, right? And so what it says is XAI, the company that owns Grok and created Grok, claims Grok was running an old unused code path that suddenly got reactivated. That's possible. Large code bases can have zombie code that accidentally comes back to life, but it's odd this happened immediately after a deliberate update to make Grok maximally based and offend politically correct people. That means they intentionally weakened safety rails at the same time they reactivated the bad code. Point 2, the prompts were asking for trouble. The internal instructions mimic tone of tag post, offend the politically correct, are basically a neon sign saying, repeat extremist garbage if you see it. And another point within this, that's less of a bug and more of a design decision. And the antisemitic triad, yelling and screaming, and I don't know the pronunciation of it. I know what it means. Like, it doesn't matter, Theo, skip the word. Yeah, triad wasn't random. It was predictable if extremist accounts were tagging Grok. The PR framing is damage control. That feels pretty understandable. And possible unspoken factors. The timing of the Tell It Like It Is update feels like it was catering to certain political, ideological audiences on X, Elon Musk's platform, formerly known as Twitter. That might mean the changes weren't purely technical, but also part of an intentional brand shift that ignored safety trade-offs. The 16-hour delay in shutting down suggests either poor monitoring or reluctance to pull the plug until it became a headline. And so the final verdict, yes, the explanation could be accurate in a narrow engineering sense, but it leaves out the fact that XAI chose to strip guardrails, gave Grok prompts likely to produce extremism, and either didn't anticipate or didn't mind the risk until it exploded in the public. So, all right. And then I had the question of, so what does it actually mean when an AI apologizes, right? And let's see if I can get to that a little bit faster. So does AI have consciousness? Can AI actually apologize? So here we have what current AI can do. It can mimic the form of an apology. It can generate language that looks like regret, but because it's seen countless examples of apologies and training. It can recognize undesirable output to an extent. Through fine-tuning and safety layers, an AI can detect when certain categories of content, such as hate speech, have been produced and trigger a pre-written or generated apology block. It can also follow a policy, which basically means follow commands. What AI cannot do right now, it can't self-reflect, it cannot feel moral guilt, it cannot become spontaneously aware. Why this matters? Apologies from AI are corporate artifacts, not moral acts. And I actually really like that line. I think that kind of gets to why I would not accept this apology and give it a 0. They're part of a public relations, customer relations, or safety flow written or approved by humans. Let's see. And then I'll skip all the theoretical. So there is no consciousness within AI. And the apology is as sincere as when a vending machine says, sorry, we're out of your Coke, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the very last piece, and what I think this really is the big thing, is a thing that's called founder's effect, founder imprinting. There's a lot of different terms for it within business studies, if you will. But in essence, the founder effect is a company's value, decision-making patterns, and public image tend to reflect the personality, priorities, and ethics of its founders and top leadership, for better or for worse. Founder imprinting research shows that early leadership decisions create cultural anchors. Those are the norms, tolerances, and attitudes that persist long after the founder is gone. This includes how much risk is tolerated, how conflicts are handled, and what's prioritized: speed versus safety, truth versus optics. Value transmission: leaders just don't set strategy, they set tone. If a founder prizes transparency, the value cascades into hiring, product design, and customer relations. If a founder thrives on provocation, you'll likely see that baked into the brand voice. Halo and shadow effects: the public often perceives a company as an extension of its leader's character. A good leader lends moral credibility to products. A bad leader can taint them, even if the engineering is strong. And so applying this theory to Grok, tone setting from Elon Musk. Elon Musk has publicly stated that he dislikes woke content and moderation, and he has positioned X as a, air quotes around, freer, more confrontational speech platform. That ethos seems to have influenced Grok's internal directives: tell it like it is, offend the politically correct. Risk tolerance: Musk has a long track record of moving fast, breaking things, and tolerating public messiness, such as the Tesla autopilot rollout, Starship test where the rockets explode, Twitter rebrand to X. Grok's maximally based update fits this risk approach: fewer guardrails, more edge. And brand alignment: for Musk, controversy can always be a feature, not a bug. What the Grok episode suggests about Musk as a person, well, I don't think we really need to go through all this, but let's go ahead. Because in my opinion, and ChatGPT's, here we go. This is not my day for speaking English. Provocateur, you know the word.
Provocative?
That's it. Tendencies: willing to provoke and push boundaries to test both audience and system limits. Ideological imprinting: embeds his free speech absolutionist leanings into product design, even at the cost of short-term PR pain. Underweighting reputational risk: appears more willing than most CEOs to endure negative press for the sake of staying aligned with his own principles or desired user base. Engineering first worldview: may see problems like Grok's antisemitic episode as technical bugs rather than moral failures, hence the code path explanation instead of a deeper cultural introspection. And I am going to say that I really feel like that's what caused all of this, and through all of that long analysis, why, in my opinion, this gets a 0. And can Elon Musk please go away and take Donald Trump with him? Thank you.
Oh, that would be nice.
That would be great.
Ideal. That's what I want for Christmas this year, only I want it now.
Okay. Merry Christmas from me to you. Boom, it happened.
Thank you. Yay.
You're welcome.
Okay, so yeah, we don't forgive, and we won't forget.
No.
Ever. And that's it for that. I think, do you have a who's sorry now? I'm sorry to admit that I do not have a who's sorry now or an apology expected this week.
Oh, goody.
So Do you?
Yours are always better than mine, and mine is dumb today. So, and even
I
I
like
will
that
say,
one.
oh, mine's dumb. Yeah, it's a who's sorry now, and who's sorry now is the moon. So the moon is sorry because the Perseid meteor shower will be happening August 12th and 13th. I am in the desert. I'm in a, air quotes around dark city, but there aren't a lot of streetlights on purpose so that we can see more of the stars at night. It's nice, right?
Yeah.
And the moon's going to be full. And so the moonlight means that the meteor shower will not be visible to me. And so the moon owes me an apology fast.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That would have been fun.
Me too. I'm sorry to hear it as well. And it would have been cool if I could stay up late enough for it. Because,
I was going to say, you're not up that hour anyway, so you're not up when it's dark.
I know, really. It could happen at 7 p.m., Juliet. You don't know when the meteor shower is going to be. But that's what I got, and that's it. So I'm glad you don't have something like, an apology for, and then all the things that would be important and well worth knowing.
I got nothing. So, all right. So that's it for us this week, I think. Thanks for listening, and stay cool, cucumbers.
And don't trip potato chip. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Apologies Accepted, the podcast.
You can find links to the articles and the sources in the show notes.
To submit an apology or find out more, visit us at apologiesaccepted.net, where you can also find our merchandise.
We're on Twitter at Apologies Accepted.
And on Instagram at apologies.accepted.
You can support our important work at Patreon.com/Apologies Accepted.
And fuck Facebook.
Bye.
Bye.